Namaskaram, Masters. Welcome to day 9, season 3 of Aatma Deepo Bhava. Be a light unto yourself. I hope you had a wonderful meditation session. Before we start the wisdom sharing session, let us all be grateful for our Grandmaster Prabodh Garu for giving us this amazing platform. And thank you, leadership team, hosting team, and all the volunteers for all the hard work that you do. And all the attendees that are here with us today, thank you, thank you, thank you. Masters, it is with profound gratitude that I have the honor of introducing to you a truly exceptional individual, a guiding light in the realm of holistic healing, an inspirational leader, and a compassionate teacher, Master Smitha Hemadri. Master Smitha is a dedicated nature cure lifestyle coach. She has dedicated over 10 remarkable years to educating and healing people using a comprehensive and intuitive approach. Her expertise spans nutrition, social relationships, physical fitness, and spirituality, making her an invaluable resource to those seeking a life of harmony and well-being. Master Smitha's vast experience in addressing various health conditions, including cancers, nervous issues, fertility issues, and PCOD, has transformed numerous lives. Her quest for spiritual growth led her to the Purple Flower Life Mastery Academy in California, where she furthered her studies and emerged with a deeper understanding of her true self. Master Smitha successfully completed 4 batches of Gudakesha and a workshop as well. And we are fortunate to have her as a speaker once again in Atma Deepo Bhava Season 3, where she continues to inspire and uplift those around her. As we prepare to embark on this wisdom sharing session, let us remember the words of a great leader, Mahatma Gandhi. He once said, the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. Master Smitha embodies this ideal, tirelessly working to share her invaluable work, her invaluable knowledge with as many people as possible in her present journey. So, dear masters, let us open our hearts and minds to receive the priceless wisdom that Master Smitha Hemadri has to share with us today on the profound topic of laws of karma. Master Smitha, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Mani. Should the recording start or anything, or should I continue?
Recording already started, Master. You can go ahead.
Okay, sure. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. First of all, I would like to thank Brahmashi Pitama Patriji for this platform. And let us connect to the loving and happy energies of our dear Grandmaster Prabodh Achyutha. We've already done that through the meditation. But let us also remember again and then connect to his energies. So today I'll be talking about the topic called laws of karma. I'm sure we all know about karma as such as a word. So in English, karma means action. But what really does karma in spiritual contexts mean? So the answer can be very different, or it can vary depending on who you ask, based on the various factors such as belief systems, their level of consciousness, and many things. So to me personally, karma is like a divine order. It's like a tracking system which helps one to experience the opposite of what was experienced and learned in the past. So it is like a system which basically helps you get a holistic view and wisdom on any subject. For example, or if one has not responded to, let's say, any experience presented by their system at a soul level or at a soul state, then what the tracker does is it continues to keep track of that because we still haven't learned at a soul level. So it continues to track that and then gives us those experiences in various severities, depending on whether we have adhered to it in the past, and then respond at a soul state at some point in time. And then when the lesson is learned subconsciously. So it's like, let's say, some may say if we do bad, bad will happen. If we do good, good will happen. But in my opinion, there is nothing called good or bad. And everything is just an experience to be cherished. And wisdom has to be gained in every single experience. So that is what is the beauty of karma. So when we have a challenging experience, we say that, oh, this is my karma. What is this? I've done something in the past. That is why all this has happened. But how will you be able to appreciate the good or the good aspects of our life unless you understand what is bad? So the value of good can only be understood by experiencing the bad. So for example, let's say if I have a soul plan to cheat somebody, then I might want to experience being a victim or cheated also in subsequent lives, right? Here, it does not mean that I did bad and hence I'm getting to be the victim or cheated in this case. So here, the order is ensuring that I get both the sides of the experience, which is the cheating somebody experience. And then in some point, okay, I'm getting cheated. So that way, I'll get a holistic experience of this subject called cheating from this side also and from this side also. So not one benevolent act or good or evil or any small thing, insignificant thing, or a secret can actually escape the eyes of this balanced system of karma. So so what is this indicator that we are basically searching when we go through this, when the system is basically connecting is, we are searching for our eternal bliss, which Master was also trying to teach us. The Brahmanandam state, the soul state, which is the happy state. In everything, when we are searching for that, we search for that when I'm trying to cheat somebody also, or maybe it's in the state of cheating somebody, and then I'll continue to cheat. And then I'll not find it at a subconscious level. I'll be matchmaking. Oh, does this match? Does this match with my Sachidanand state? I'll be happy as soon as I cheated. But then after some time, again, I'll feel like cheating. So which means I still haven't got that. But then it doesn't register in our head that, oh, I have not got it. But we keep searching. So like this, at one point, we'll understand that it's not there in cheating. Let us try to get cheated. So we'll become the victim. So here, we should not think that getting cheated is bad. It is just that from an experience point of view, I need to search here also. I need to search here also. Okay, so that is what is karma. So it's a system which is basically balancing and giving me what I want as experiences so that I don't miss out on anything. I don't miss out on any aspect of God's creation and not search. So it's like everywhere I have to search in the world around me, in every aspect of the world around me, so that I'll be motivated to go inside to take my journey within and then realize my own soul, right? Unless if I find happiness outside, if the karma makes sure that I'm finding some eternal happiness outside, then we'll not even be motivated to go within and search for it. Hence, the system is so beautifully built to make us search this whole thing. So there is no good or bad. Now, like how gravity has an effect on us, whether we understand it or no, karma also has an effect on all of us, because at a soul level only, all of these things are happening. And whether at a conscious level we understand or no, we curse or no, whatever, whether you have that knowledge or no, it just keeps working on you, because that is the order. So now there are 12 divine laws of karma. And if you understand these 12 divine laws of karma, it is like we can live a beautiful life. So the first law is also called the great law, which everybody knows, which is called the law of cause and effect. It says that as you sow, so shall you reap, which means if we put a mango seed, mango tree is only going to come. So this is known as a law of cause and effect, or the great law. Here, if we are enjoying something called so-called good in our life, it's because of the good experience we have given to the other in some past life. So which means we have got the points of good in our database, and hence we are now eligible to get it when we are in the receiving mode. When we are in the giving mode, if we have done that kind of act, then we will get the thing, when we will also be the receiver. So if you have not given in the past, you will not get. So we have to, in our bank account, we need to be having enough, good experiences to be able to get good experiences. But then, of course, since the soul is balancing the good and the bad and all that based on lessons and experiences, it is not necessary for you to believe that I should only do good. Because if you only do good, you will not understand the bad of it, I said, right? So for example, as a cook, we all understand that when we get a recipe, it's not like recipes make a certain dish. You should know in and out of the science of that particular cooking, how each and every ingredient works. We should also know what can go wrong in that particular dish, what possibly can go wrong. All those things we should know. So if you are learning a recipe from somebody, we should ask them, what possibly can go wrong in this dish? Then they'll tell all of these things which they learned in the part of their experience. So like this, we have to understand the pain and suffering and the negative aspects of everything to understand the good aspects of how to basically cook a nice, beautiful dish. So in case, let's say, so here, just for example, so in case a mother's love and kindness can spoil a child because she's so attached and all that, then over time, the child can become notorious. So the soul only planned such a thing because he wanted to experience that. So see, this is such a balanced system that we cannot put our judgment on all of these things. But so when I use some words called good or bad, you should just understand that some are high vibing emotions and some are low vibrating emotions. So let's say fear, anxiety, or anger, and those kinds of things are low. Then let's say gratitude, love, joy, and all are very high. So just for the sake of explanation in this session, I'm just going to call it good or bad, but there is, as such, in oneness, there is no good or bad. We want both the sides of the equation. Let's assume that the system is balancing this whole thing based on our soul plan. So we will just go ahead with understanding the law. Here, the mother did it with her good intentions because she thought that the child needed that love and care and all that. But the law decided differently, right? So encouraging others to do is basically bad. Like encouraging, if the mother is encouraging somebody else to also basically be very, very, very affectionate to that child, but actually in the wrong way, then what will happen? The child will automatically go to that. So here there is also a story in Bible which says Saint Paul, it's a story of Jacob, who cheats his father and his brother and gets sent off because he did a lot of cheating. The mother sends him off to save him. So but here mother basically wanted to save that child, Jacob. Jacob had this tendency to cheat. So the mother sent him off so that the father and the brother doesn't do anything to him. So then he went to work for mother's brother, who is his uncle. And there he was working with the uncle for a very long time and he fell in love with the first daughter. So this uncle did not give him the daughter so easily. What he did, he said, you have to work for 7 years and then you can get married to her. But there also he cheated her. He cheated him and then got him married to the second daughter. Now Jacob wanted to desperately marry the first daughter because he was in love with her. So what the uncle said, you have to work for 7 more years to marry the first daughter, he said. So again, he worked for 7 more years and he married this first daughter. Even after that, some of his children apparently, he married the first daughter, and then he had children. Some 3 children he had, and he had one favorite son. So what his other children did, because he was doing a lot of favoritism to that other son, they killed that son, and those two children cheated also. So in this case, you understand that Jacob was basically cheated by, as a father, he got cheated, and as a child, his children also cheated to him. So because here the law says, I cheated, so whatever he did, he reaped the same thing. So like that, this may get spread across many lives. We won't know. That is the beauty of being born on earth. We really don't know when what has happened. We have this intellect, so that intellect will come, and then knowledge is going to come, laws of karmas are going to come. So we'll have to use this intelligence and put one and one together, and over time understand that this is coming to me because of this. It's more of a speculation. Of course, in meditation, you can go to your past lives. That is the best. But otherwise, we have all the knowledge to understand that this is the system. So mental and verbal also happens like that. Only when you're giving positive thoughts, positive sentences and words, equally you'll get it back, because you are supposed to experience both the sides of this equation. So what we sow does not get reaped in the same lifetime. Why? Because if we are constantly doing that, then maybe there is no genuine need for you to learn it in that level. For example, if you're cheating someone, suddenly you may not, it takes a long time for you to, you'll be very smart. When you're cheating someone, you'll be very smart. In the same lifetime, you may not become dumb enough to get cheated by someone, right? You have to make yourself born dumb so that you can get cheated by someone, which means totally opposite you should be. The person who cheats will be very smart, right, these days. So you can see that in many of our stories and all that. So like that, you need a different personality to get cheated. You need a different personality to cheat someone. So it doesn't happen in the same lifetime. So nutshell, whatever we put out in the universe is always comes back to us. This is the great law. So if we want happiness, peace, love, friendship, then we should display happiness, peaceful, loving, and good. We should be a true friend to somebody. So of course, when your soul plan is to be all this, then you will be. But otherwise, the overall idea should be that I need to constantly try to vibrate at a higher level also. And you should know how to handle these lower emotions. That also I will deal with it in one of these laws. So the second law is called the law of creation. It says we are co-creators. We are co-creators with the creator. The creator, of course, is within all of us. He's within all of us, and then helping us co-create our own destiny. Every present today is a creation which was intended in the past. So the law says, don't sit and hope for something to happen. You need to take the step forward and create your own destiny. See, look at what is happening around you, and then you have to reflect on how I created this current reality. Is it the way I want it to be? Or if not, then I'll have to take the active steps and initiate a change for it, and then create a better life. So if I am the creator of my life, then whatever I see around me is basically a reflection of me. Why did it motivate me to basically try to change? Because I've done all the opposite things in my life. That is why whatever I'm getting from my experience from people, objects, experience, and situations is trying to teach me that I've already done that. I can only accept whatever that is happening and not try to change it. But if I don't like it, I can be a better person by slowly starting to do something different now. So that is what is the law of creation states. You don't have to just let whatever you see, think that is a reality. You can again create whatever you want, which is opposite of what you're seeing. So realize that Nisargadatta Maharaj says that, realize that your world is only a reflection of yourself, and stop finding faults with this reflection. Attend to yourself. Set yourself right mentally, physically, and emotionally. Mentally and emotionally. The physical self will follow automatically. So there is nobody in your world. It is only you. Everything is, that's why called Maya. It is like a screen around you showing you what you need to see and learn from. Everything is a reflection of you only, of your insides only. Okay. The third law says the law of humility. So the law of humility states that we must accept what is in our experience as it is. Like Hanumanji was one of the epitome of humility. He had every possible knowledge, and yet he was so humble. So for example, there is a story which goes like this. Valmiki, who wrote the Ramayana, apparently he just met Hanuman someday. And there was a book that in the leaves they write, right? Palm leaves. So he saw that, and then he saw, oh wow, and then it was apparently Ramayana. So he read the Ramayana. It was so very beautiful apparently. And then he said, who wrote this? And then I wrote it, Hanuman said. Then wow, it is so beautiful. But you know what? I have been assigned this, rather I've got this sole purpose to write the Ramayana, he said. Then he told Hanuman, oh, actually, you know what? This Ramayana is so beautiful. I can't even match it. If I write, then definitely it will not even get close to this Ramayana. Then you know what Hanuman did? He said, is it? Okay, let's do one thing then. And then he tore that Ramayana. He said, I wrote it for my Lord. I wrote it for Rama. I wrote it for my bhakti. I wrote it for that aspect. I did not write it for the world to see or whatever it is. And then he just tore it. That is the kind of detachment he had. That is the kind of humility he had. And then later on, of course, Valmiki wrote his Ramayana. So this is what humility is. And he's the epitome of humility. Whoever has that great knowledge is also so humble. It's futile to fight against the things you have no control. You should just accept the first step to surrendering to the great law is to first accept things the way they are. Why should you accept? Because everything has happened in the past. You're just seeing a reflection. So you should just accept it. It cannot be changed. You can't change the people in front of you like that. You just have to accept it with what? Grace and humility, not compromise. Then it depends on what is in your head. If you think that, oh, I can't change it because they are all very powerful, that is a different attitude. The attitude is what matters. The attitude should stem from knowledge. So you should let go of all expectation of how things should be, what things should be. You need that tattva jnanam, that Aatma jnanam, they say, right? By doing meditation, swadhyaya, and then understand this universal truth of living. For example, let's say you're stuck in traffic, and let's say you're very late for work, and then you may experience this anger and frustration and all that. Many people also do curse words. So, I mean, this reminds me of a joke. My brother-in-law was actually calling they were in a very heavy traffic, and then he has called Gube. For some reason, when they use curse words in Kannada, they call them Gube, because some guy in the traffic is basically making some dumb moves. So he called him Gube. So what my niece, who was hardly about 2 years, she basically mimicked, and then when they were going out in traffic some other day, she called somebody Gube. So of course, this is the law of sow and reap also. But it was just a joke. So here, if you get angry and frustrated, what is going to happen is you will experience negative emotions within yourself. And then those negative emotions or that state of being, see here, angry and frustrated, how you have to deal with that at a soul state also I will explain. But then let's say you are not at a soul state, you're really angry and frustrated. At that time, what will happen? You will have a lower set of vibration. And then what you will experience, what you will attract more is also more of those negative experiences, because the law will think, the universe will think, oh, she has not learned. Let me give her some more problems. Let me give her some more traffic issues so that she can learn more. So the more you are getting sucked up in this drama, the more you will get sucked up in this drama. So what we ask from the universe will reflect more based on the law of karma. So the law of growth, Growth means it teaches us to change ourselves rather than attempting to change somebody else in front of us. So here it starts from within. Growth starts always from within. They say, right, when you're pointing fingers at somebody like this, 3 fingers are pointing at you. In fact, all fingers should point at you. So personal development or the process of working on yourself is the key to developing a positive change. And every time that awareness should be that it's only me, it's only me, it's only me in this world, there's nobody else. Even if you see somebody and you have this habit of blaming, expecting and all of that, first thing you should say is, they're all dummies. They are not here to change, only I'm here to change. So it is futile to attempt to control, to change others. Has anybody changed in your life just because you gave some advice? No. You will change only because you want to change. If somebody gives you that knowledge or that gyan, out of respect, you may totally put it into your heart and you may change. But most of the time, the change has to come from within, because the trigger also has to come from within. So if you hope to make a lasting positive change in the world, then you must first start with yourself. That is always the case. For example, even when I went into the nature cure practitioner to work, to help others to heal themselves, I did not go that with us, oh, I will now try to change the world. I didn't go like that at all. When I suffered some life-threatening experiences, then when I changed myself, rather I healed myself, then I just went there to share it with the world of what I know. I didn't go there to basically be that, doctor figure or something. I just went there to share. Whatever I share, whether they follow or no, I didn't care. But then over a period of time, this became like a huge thing, and then it became a whole community by itself. People started telling, word of mouth started spreading. So today, if I'm actually working in that level, I did not start off with that at all. So I changed myself first. I worked on my children. Then I started sharing with others. Even when I'm guiding somebody emotionally and spiritually and mentally and all of those things, it is because I faced my challenges. I applied those laws to myself. I had so many challenges with my life. I had so many relationship issues. And those things over time became love. Until that happened, I could not see that in others. Today, I see a lot of beautiful clients coming to me where they are already ready-made. Their state of mind is already spiritual. They're already in accepting state. They're already in surrender state. I just have to give them the knowledge and they're already automatically applied. Why did this happen? Because I'm only seeing my reflection, because I have practiced it within myself and I'm able to see only that. Because I did in the past, it is coming to me as a reflection. So like that, you should always see your world as a reflection of yourself. There are so many things yet to work within myself. And that with awareness only we can practice. So let's say you have a mentality here where we are trying to fix the other person. It is not possible. We have, even especially with children, this happens, right? We try to constantly fix the children, thinking that we have a better idea about life than them. But they may have a soul plan to basically get worst before they get better. In my own life, my daughter used to be she used to lie chronically. But that was her soul plan. We all were very ethical about, let's say, not lying and being truthful and all that. But as a baby, I was a little toddler itself, she used to automatically. It means that I was like that in the past. So, but then we did our mistakes by constantly saying, no, you should not tell lie, you should not lie, you should not lie, you should not lie. Because that knowledge was not there at that time. But then today, she will tell the truth. And you should believe when they're telling the truth. Even though in the past, the children have been lying, you should still try to trust yourself. Yes, this time she told the truth. Yes, this time. Even if that comes back and says, no, it was not, it was still a lie. It's okay. You should still have that hope that, no, it will definitely work, because I am giving that trust back. That trust is also going to come back to me. You should do, whether you get it or no, you should do. That is what. Here, you should remember that you cannot fix yourself. You should only give. So if you were to apply the law of growth, you would only work on that which is under control, which is yourself. So if the relationship is not healthy, it is your choice to leave or stay. But you cannot change somebody else. If you leave today, then that lesson from that soul is going to come in some other life. But then it is going to come. What? You cannot run away from anything. So the next is the law of responsibility. It says that you are the sole owner of your decisions and your actions, and the consequences also that comes as a part of it, because we are coming here to cherish each and every experience, and then there is a plan for each and every experience learning also. So like this, there is a give and take. It's a whole integrated system. So here the law of responsibility is asking you to acknowledge everything in your life that is happening as a manifestation. And why are you manifesting? Why have you manifested all of these things that has happened in your life? Because it is a direct result of the decisions that you have made in some point in life, this life, some life. So we must own complete responsibility of how we are at this point. So here that self-reflection eliminates the need to look outside for the source of problems. So you cannot go and blame somebody else for your problems. You should say, I'm getting this problem because I have to learn. And in the past, I have been like that. That is why now I'm on the receiving end. It is just a matter of learning from this also. So what does it look like in real life? Let's say you have a problem in your life that causes you a great deal of stress. In fact, you're so stressed that you react in anger to everybody in your life. While you may have, while actually you may not have caused the problem itself, but having so much of stress, you become responsible for the consequences of that whatever that stress is going to bring in the future, right? So what are you giving all the time to the world from your sense organs? As a result of your sense organs will add to this future also. So the law of growth is saying that we are solely or 100% responsible for all the people in our life, their behaviors, the objects that come to your life, the situations that come to your life, the experiences that come to your life, as per the law 1. So we have reaped what we have sowed, right? Now next is the law of connection. So the law of connection says that the past, present, future, they're all happening in parallel. Everything is interconnected. So that is why when I'm basically sharing what I know, what I have learned or what is inside me to this Atma Deepo Bhava class, I'm actually not sharing this with some different people. I'm sharing this with myself. What is actually happening here? I'm the only one, right? So if I'm sharing this, then I'm just dumping some unstructured knowledge in a structured form, just so that my conscious mind can understand it and I am able to follow whatever I am only teaching. I'm not trying to basically prove here that I am better and somebody else is not better or something. So even when you write a book, you're writing a book for yourself. When you're teaching somebody, you're teaching for yourself. When you're sharing something to somebody, you're sharing for yourself. That is why you don't have to worry about whether somebody is going to judge me or not judge me. They're going to think, okay, what is she saying or whatever. Because if you get something back from some judgment, criticism or something, it is because you are reaping what you sowed in the past. You have criticized somebody in that experience, give and take, you have criticized because you wanted to give criticism to somebody. Today you're receiving criticism. So again, the system is trying to balance things. So never hesitate to go and talk to anybody, because ultimately you are alone. You are only interacting with yourself. Okay, so that is why the great law here, that is the first law, that what you sow today, you'll reap tomorrow, is happening again and again. That is why it's called the great law, because that is intermerging with all of the other laws. So, for example, how does it look with respect to this karma? The actions and thoughts that you had in the past have brought about in the present. You are experiencing it today. just for the sake of technicality, we will think about it as a different timeline, because only on earth we have this sense of time and space, but as such there is nothing like time. But for the sake of argument, we will say that whatever happened in the past is now in the present, and whatever you are going to act today or thoughts you're going to give today is going to shape your future. So there is this universal set called Sanchita Karma. Okay, that it's a let's say a big pool. Out of this, whatever you pick as a subset for this particular life, whatever this through this body is called the Prarabdha Karma. And whatever you invest, whatever good things or bad things, whatever you do today is now going to get recorded as something called the Agami Karma for the future. So if you are basically doing something good, you're doing some action, the outcome of that action is not coming because you did something. For example, let's say I wrote an exam, and I wrote an exam. I studied a lot, and I wrote this exam. The result of that, let's say the marks of that, the outcome of that is not coming because I studied now. It's coming because of the whatever is, if my quality of that input is good, then the law judges, or it basically measures me against whatever metric it has, and then the outcome is coming from whatever I have already earned. Like it's like your salary. If you worked for 1 month, that 1 month salary you have earned, right? Something like that. Even Prarabdha Karma is, if something is coming to you, good or bad, it's coming because you've already earned it in the past. And whatever you're doing today, you are going to see it coming to you in the future. So that is why if somebody, if people look at, let's say politicians, through this guy doesn't even deserve all these things. He's doing such a lot of bad act, but still he's reaping a lot of money. If you think like that, you're judging him wrong. Whatever he's getting, he deserves it because he has already earned it in the past. And why he's getting all that means because he thinks he thinks he's doing everything right. Whatever it is, it's basic. The law is measuring and then it's giving him. But if he's not doing anything now as per his plan, if it has to all go wrong, then in future he will experience that. So all this is so tightly integrated. So so this law of connection is inviting you to slow down and live in the present. It says the present only has the divine moment. There is no future, there is no past. Past has already gone. It's like a ghost. And see, you are seeing your past in front of you all the time. You don't have to go to the past. You don't have to go to the past that is in your mind. The actual past that is necessary for you to learn and grow from is in front of you, coming from the past into your in your present, from your reflection that is your people and all around you, the experiences in front of you. It is already coming from the past. So why do we have to go to the past? So this habit of staying in the present moment should always be there. And there is, of course, no future. We should surrender everything and say future will anyway come. It's not in my scope. So future will come. So it is a reminder for us to be mindful that whatever we do is going to reverberate far in the future. So everything is connected. So let me share an example. So one of my clients yesterday, so she was having panic attacks. She has a history of panic attacks. So most of it is almost gone. But yesterday she had one after a very long time. She was apparently late for yoga class, and she told me, Smitha, I went to yoga. I was in a hurry, so I went and took bath, and it was all in a hurry. I like gobbled something, and I went to the class. And there also, I was not able to like slow down into my present and do the asanas. Even during pranayama, I was not able to even breathe properly because that panic attack had already started. In the past, because she has panic attacks, the body has got into a programming. So this time, she has to teach the body to not panic. So I had to tell her, see, you have been attending that yoga class for the past 5 years and you are regular to the class. Your teacher is not going to scold you one day if you're going late. You can just slow down and say, it's okay. It is actually rather, this is the present moment. Yoga class, is wherever your focus goes, that is where attention flows. So wherever your attention goes, that is where the focus is, energies and all that. So that is the next law. But what I'm just saying is, in the present, you have to be in the present. You're taking bath, you're doing this, that. So just focus on that and think, give yourself that teaching that, okay, it's okay, 5 years I've already gone. I'm just going to say sorry. And instead of going through that panic attack, and you're being aware that, yes, I'm going into that attack. So I'd rather slow down and slow yourself down. And even it's not like she's going to teach some new asana, which she has never taught for the last 5 years. So slow down and nothing is going to happen. You're not facing a tiger or something, is what I told her. And then slowly, she understood and she said, I'm going to apply it for the next time. So whatever is in your current only is actually happening. That is a divine moment. The future or the past has actually not happened until you give that attention in the present. So it's like petrol. Only when that attention, present petrol is what you're giving, that is when the actual thing is happening. Otherwise, it's all in your imagination. So the next law says law of focus. Here it says it is impossible to focus on two different things at the same time. You have to focus on one emotion or one set of activities or something like that. You have to focus on basically you can't do many things at the same time, is what the law says. And you do not allow your mind to go like, for example, you can't be in the negative state and the positive state together. So you can only be either negative or positive at one point in time, and you can take yourself from one to another. So in the words of Tony Robbins, he says your life is controlled by what you focus on. And of course, in Bhagavad Gita, 4th chapter also, Krishna says, Karmanyevadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma palahetur gurmate sangoshva karmani. He says that focus on the job at hand in the present and not on the future, which is the outcome or the fruits. So the more you surrender to this, the more favorable the outcome is going to show up. From where? From your prarabdha karma, which you have already earned in the past. So that system is deciding how much of that earning you deserve to get in the present. So that is what the law of focus is. What is the eighth law? The eighth law says the law of giving and hospitality. So here it says that your selfless acts are the true measure of our intentions. We must selflessly work for ourselves by serving others and seeing oneself in others. When in the past laws, what did we see? Everybody is a reflection. That is why Master keeps saying oneness, oneness, oneness. What is oneness? It means that your sister is you, your brother is you, your mother is you, your father is you, everybody is you only. They may look different, their form and shape may be different, but the behavior that you're seeing in them is your own behavior from some past life. So everybody is you only. So if you need to reap good or whatever in your future, you need to serve others. If you are serving others, then that servitude is going to come back to you. When I see my mother, right, my father passed away with cancer in 2015. So much of people like angels in her life, all the time, somebody or the other, like mind-blowing service she gets. That is because somebody probably she has done that to somebody else. And possibly it's in my experience, because in the past, this has happened in my experience. Whatever. I mean, there's so much of interrelated ways of looking at this whole thing. I can look at my mother separately and then maybe talk about this. Or I can look at it as my own experience and then relate it to my own past life. So there's a whole lot of, different ways of looking at these things. But what I'm just trying to say is, so much of selfless service, if we keep doing to somebody else, not because we will get it back. See, if the idea is to get it back, then there is some, agenda here. So don't have any agendas. You just serve others because you believe that others are you only. Then when you're constantly going to somebody without any agenda, then you will basically get it back also, because that is what the law says. You give, that is when you will get at the same time. maybe in multiple proportions. So when you are selfless and you are not preoccupied with your own self-interests, your own advancements or desires, then you are attentive to the needs of those others, which is a reflection of yourself. See, it is when you look at a very deeply in one of these laws, we say the law of present, past, and thing are all interconnected. And one more law says everybody is a reflection. They are coming from the past, and you are basically seeing a reflection of what you did in the past. So when you merge these two laws, what are you doing? You are actually going into your past and trying to help your past character or that person. You're not trying to change the person. You are trying to give the person whatever you are capable. You have grown to from your past wisdom only. You have become today whatever good you are today, right? You have gained that wisdom. You're using this wisdom from the present, and you're going to the past and trying to influence the past, which again will influence your present. So when you are going and serving others, see, why is that always people who are enlightened and who are in that spiritual path and all that, they're always in the state of teaching or serving, those kinds of things only. Why? Because the more they go and reach out to somebody and then influence that in a good way, it is going to again reflect on this present, and which again today's work will reflect in the future. So there's so much of interconnected beauty in this whole law of giving and hospitality and all that. So Ramdas says, who was a disciple of Neem Karoli Baba, he says that I can do nothing for you but work on myself. You can do nothing for me but work on yourself. So there is nothing that we can do for anybody. If Prabodh Master is teaching somebody all of these things, he's going and influencing his own past life, his own past versions of who's coming into his experience, and then helping them become a better version of themselves. So when all of them get that Atma Deepa within themselves, he also will be growing in that level. So Dalai Lama once said, if you would like to be selfish, you should do it in a very intelligent way. The stupid way to be selfish is to seek happiness for ourselves alone. The intelligent way to be selfish is to work for the welfare of others. So he says you should look at oneness. You should, if you want something, then you should basically go out there and then do that. Okay. So the 9th law says the law of here and now. Again, this is a law of the present. So again, most of us are living in the past or the future. So how often have we not ruminated on our past mistakes? We have not been guilty about our past mistakes or worried about what is going to happen tomorrow, anxiety and all of that, right? So that is what this law says. It is all happening in the now. So focusing on the past mistakes means that you're constantly beating yourself for the things that even aren't happening. For example, when I work with so many clients who come, for example, cancer cases, when they come with a lot of baggage, all cancers are not physical. They're all emotional. Cancer is an emotional disease. So when we work with them, we work at that emotional level, trying to work on their anxieties and all of these baggages that they've been carrying. Only when they let go of that baggage will they be in a position to heal themselves. Because in the past, right, one of these sentences I told that Nisargadatta Maharaj, only when you heal emotionally and mentally will you be able to reflect that in the physical. So physically, you can't heal yourself directly at all. You can only, the state of mind is what is going to heal you. So there's a lot of deeper connect with physical, mental, and emotional in different aspects. So that is why here we need to be able to let go and start living in the present, being fully grateful in the present and all of those things. Only when you give gratitude, you give love, you give compassion, you give kindness, you give that bhakti, you give that prayer, you give all of those things, and you're connected to that source of energy. The anchor should be God. When you're connected to that God energy, Godhood all the time, then what will happen is you are healing. Because there is no ups and downs. You're not jumping from one goal post to another post in the world. You're connected to that strong energy, which is constant all the time. So then there is healing, because in that divine moment is in the now. So when you are in the now, focusing on the good feelings and all of those things, then because you've given so much, then it's going to come back to you as well. So that's why even Eckhart Tolle has written this book called Now, right? The Power of Now. So it's all in the given present moment. So the 10th law says the law of change. So the law of change says the history will continue to keep repeating itself until you take the steps to make that change. Yeah, because you have not learned from that. Obviously, it is going to keep giving you. For example, if we have not learned, if we have to get better in a subject, then in the exercise 1 will be there until exercise 2, exercise 3, exercise 4. As you keep going higher and higher, then exercise 10 will have the toughest problems. So like that, this karma system is going to keep giving us stronger and stronger experiences. In fact, they say that if you have not learned from your experiences in this life, then in the next life, your soul only will make it a lot more stronger and lot more intense and lot more severe. And because you have not learned from, it did not really hit you, right? It did not hit you so hard that you were motivated to heal from within, to change yourself. So a lot more dose is going to come in the future. That is what it says. So actions spring from desire. The stronger the desire, the stronger is action precipitated. So for example, when I work with cancer cases and all that, some come with a very, very strong desire to heal themselves. So there is a lot of push within themselves to heal. So then even at that time when I'm basically directing them to work in certain ways, they have that power within them. They heal themselves. But there are so many people who come with that lack of motivation. Why should I live? There is nobody for me. Those kinds of things when it is there, right? So then there is no drive within them only to heal. So then that when the desire to get to a certain goal is not stronger, then the manifestations that happen as a part of that also, whatever they reflect as a part of that also, will not be that strong. So when you are motivated to do something, you'll basically act, you'll repeatedly do some set of actions because you're wanting to get there. And the more you keep doing that, you will make habits. And then as the more that habit gains velocity, then we will be able to dull our thinking and influence on those old decisions, and new decisions are going to happen. So that is called the wheel of karma. So it is going to keep changing. So the this law of change says that if you are hoping to get off this wheel of karma at some point in time, we need to change our deeply ingrained thinking of patterns. Thinking patterns has to constantly change. Like here Eckhart Tolle says, time isn't precious at all. So there is no concept of time because everything is an illusion. What you perceive as precious is not time, but the one point that is out of time, which is that now. He says whatever is happening now does not get influenced by time. Time concept comes only when you think about the past or the future, right? But in the now, of course, the wall clock part, you can say time, but that he's not talking about that time. That he's talking about the relativity of past versus present and all that. So in the now, there is no concept of time. That is actually precious. The more you're focused on time, which is the past or the future, the more you're missing out on the now, which is the precious thing. So don't go to the past or future. Past is already happening in front of you. Future, you don't know. Learn to surrender. So always be in the now. Train yourself to be in the now. Keep coming back, keep coming. That is what we do in meditation also, right? We are constantly coming back to the now, which is the breath. So the next law, which is 11th law, says law of patience and reward. Again, so here it says, be consistent in what you're pursuing as a goal. If you know that you have to do your set of actions are the right thing, you feel from within you're doing the right thing, just continue to do. Like when Master was trying to learn night meditation, he kept doing, whether he kept going and sleeping on his bed or whether he didn't end up seeing on himself on that chair the next morning. He did so many things to go and sit there, make himself sit there again and again and again. How persistent he was, right? And today we are able to see that result. He is so strong in what he knows because he was doing it for such a long time. His commitment to what he wanted was very, very high. So that is what it says. You need to be patient, then only you'll get the reward. So even when people are manifesting or whatever it is, even when you're surrendering for that matter, you do your duty. When what comes as an outcome is not in our hands, that comes as a part of the system. System will decide. So if you have to be consistent with any form of karma, then we have to accumulate that karma. We'll have to give. The more you give, the more you get back. So it's all whatever we are reaping. So, but in everything, patience is the key. There is no shortcut in any of these things. A person who's patiently pursuing something only is going to be rewarded. That's what the karma says. The 12th law says is the law of significance and inspiration. So here it says that you have to acknowledge that you are important. You may say that there was one of this case which says, my husband is very educated, he is in a very good job, but I am just BCom or BA pass, and I'm a homemaker. I'm taking care of my kids. I don't have that respect in my house. I don't have that significance also. Nobody even listens to me. All of these things is because she is inviting that reality. So what should we do? We need to believe that I'm here for a certain reason. I'm important. I'm not a spare part in this earth. I have been created for a purpose. I'm here for a purpose. My soul did not do some time pass here. So my gifts, my talents, whatever talents that she has, she needs to first starting to appreciate herself, love herself, trust herself, believe herself, whatever it is. So our gifts and talents can inspire others in a way that can create ripples through the history. So you should believe that you are important in this entire cosmic world. So Rumi says, you are not a drop in the ocean. You are not an insignificant drop in the ocean. If every drop thought that it was insignificant, then there wouldn't be an ocean. So you are the entire ocean because every single drop contributed to make that ocean. So the entire world is within you only. So inside you only, and you can create anything that you want, which we saw from all these laws. You are powerful, you are significant, you are unique, and your uniqueness should inspire others, provided you believe that you are unique, you believe that you are important, you believe that you are different. You don't have to be like others, right? We are all unique, right? So why should you be like others? Why should you become one copycat of others or copy of something that when I say others, past, you're seeing your own past, something that you have to learn from your past. So why should you be like something in the past? Why don't you create a new movie? Why should we dub or remake something that happened in the past? We will create a new movie. So let's all love oneself, be kind, be compassionate to everything in life, to every single animal, plant, everything, so that we can reap the same again. So the best way to get to the state of oneness, like Master says, is to breathe in that Vishwa Shakti, and add your love to it, and then breathe it out and send it to the entire cosmos. So he says, right, 3 times you do that, breathe in the entire Vishwa Shakti, and then breathe it out. Breathe in the entire Vishwa Shakti, breathe it out. Breathe in the entire Vishwa Shakti. So you're basically sending your essence of that current intention to the entire world, which is you only. You are the only one in your world, and everything you see is a reflection. So you are basically sending it to every single part of yourself, to your mother, to your brother, to your sister. Everybody is involved in when you send it out to them. So the more you keep giving like this, the more you get back from them also. So all friends, many times we may get worked up So how do we handle negative emotions? This is one thing that we have to definitely keep in mind. We think negative emotions are bad. I should run away from my anger. I should run away from all of these things. In a lower form of consciousness, you can't teach somebody to say, do these things. But in a higher form of consciousness, you can say, you can stay with your negative emotions as well. Because what are we here for? We are here for experiences. So when you are angry, instead of basically getting carried away by why I'm angry, that person made me sick, this person. So the story of that anger, don't go with the story of that anger. Just be very curious and then see, like when Master says, be conscious, do Gudakesha, and then become very conscious of what that bliss we get when we go to that deep sleep state. What are we doing? We are actually observing and we are living that state, right? So we are trying to go to that stage. Here also, when in anger is a very high energy. So when you are able to just stay within yourself and just look at yourself when you are angry, instead of thinking that, okay, I will tell this, I will tell that. That is anyway, which always happens. So let's try to work on this kind of a project where when negative emotions come, you just observe what all happens, how the human being is behaving, what the human being's emotions are going through when he's angry, when he's in a state of sadness or whatever it is. Just observe and be with that state for as long as it state is there. Then actually next time you will not go to that state at all, because it will become a very blissful experience to even observe that state. So there is no good or bad at all. It is just beautiful in everything, provided you actually get to that state, right? It is very difficult to go to that state of Brahmanandam by actually being conscious at every single level. Similarly, you can get Brahmanandam even when you're in anger, by observing that state of anger, and then you'll see, wow, so beautiful. I was able to watch my anger. That energy was so powerful and it was all within control. So it was all well channeled. It was not just given as rockets this side and that side and bomb blasts and all that. You just stayed with that anger. Next time, because you learned from that anger, you've already experienced anger in its fullest form, you will not get angry after that, because you've actually finished enjoying it. You finished experiencing it. So that is the way to get rid of anger and all of that, by truly living it. So there is nothing called negative emotions. You should just make yourself as a project. I always love to say this example. Let's say you're from some other planet. We are all star seeds, I understand, but then we still, let's say, we are from somewhere, and then let's say there they have given you an assignment. Go to Earth and then come and write a thesis or a paper, like these PhD people do, right? Say they do something and then they write a paper. Like that, you also are supposed to write a paper. Now you need a visa to come to Earth. So what is that visa? This body. Now you'll have to get into this body, and then through this body, so many visa extensions you're constantly getting. And then you are in this body, every single emotions, because the emotions and permutations and combinations are so huge that you'll have to take multiple lives. So in all these lives, you are observing. If you're obviously observing with the intention that, oh, I need to submit a paper. I don't have to get carried away with this whole thing. I just need to observe. I need to observe how anger is, how anxiety is, how depression is, all of that. If I'm able to get to that state and just to observe, just so that I can write a paper and submit it to my seniors in my planet, then you will actually not get carried away, because who are you seeing around you? Some past version of yourself, some dummies. They are just giving you whatever it is. They are all postman giving you messages. You don't have to change them. There is no work at all. You just have to keep focusing only on yourself. So it is so easy, right? All that you're doing is, no need to change yourself also. All that you have to do is just observe. Why? Because you need to submit a paper. So there is no need to work at all. There is no need to think about future. There's no need to think about the past. But for all this, we have to practice, because we have not done this in some past lives and all that. Now it has become a habit of not living in the present, not following these laws. So just work with these laws, and then it will help you how karma works, how beautiful this integrated system is. There is absolutely no loophole at all. And it will help you work with your actions, your thoughts, and the world around you. It's a vast subject, friends. I was able to just give you a brief explanation. Sorry, I also took extra 3 minutes. Thank you so much. If you have any doubts, I'll take 5 minutes here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the wonderful wisdom sharing session. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I started my spiritual journey less than 1 year ago. So I'm not really familiar with all the principles regarding karma. Before coming into spirituality, I have this rudimentary idea of karma. Say, if you do good, good things happen. If you do bad, bad things happen. But when this talk is really a paradigm shift for me. When you said there is nothing good and nothing bad, it's all experience.
Money got disconnected. Does anybody have any questions? Seema ji?
Hello?
Yeah.
Sorry, Mani. 1 minute, Seema ji. 1 minute, Seema ji. Yes, Mani, sorry. You are on mute.
No. I think I got disconnected for some reason. I'm not sure why. But I think Seema Master already started.
No, she hasn't started yet.
Master.
You can finish, Mani. She has not started yet.
Okay. Thank you, Master. And yeah, what I meant to say is I never really thought a lot about karma. And before coming to this talk, I was dealing something in real life. I really got some good answers as to how I should move forward. And thank you so much, Master.
Yeah.
I cannot share that here, but it was wonderful. As if it seemed like as if you were giving the answer that I needed, just the guidance I need at this point today. Thank you so much.
Sure. Pleasure. Seema?
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you.
Thank you, ma'am. I had a very wonderful session. I have a doubt, like you told, when anger comes, you have to observe it. Like in that moment, we are unable to do. When
Yes.
it comes, flows of free as a bomb or whatever I speak. So at that moment, how should we observe? Like after the procedure is over or before, or at that time itself, it won't come. It's a little difficult immediately. So how should we do that, ma'am?
So typically what happens is, why are you angry? You're angry that you had an expectation, that expectation in somebody or something did not happen, and then you are angry.
Frustration or something that
exactly. Yeah. It's all stemming from expectation from something, expectation of a certain outcome. So basically what the law says, it says there is no future. You have no control over the future. Future is going to come based on your prarabdha karma, based on how you're earning in the present. It is coming from where? Some past life.
Past life, yeah.
So if you are getting something from somebody, it means that you are already earning it, because that is a quality of present you gave. So typically if your intentions are, I have to do the best work, whether I get first rank or no, I have to study. That much only is in your focus. But then when we get angry that I did not get first rank, so anything, you should first drop the expectation, because the law says it is waste to expect. Who are you expecting? From some past person, and that person is just giving you like a postman message. Postman is not here to change, right? Only you are here to change. So it is waste to expect from anybody. If you are the person who's doing a lot of work at home because nobody is helping, it is because that is your experience and you have to learn from it. Acceptance of whatever that is should be first there. So then what will happen is, for example, let's say there was a point, let's say I spilled so much of green moong on the floor, and I had to go to one meeting. And because of applying of all of these laws, trying, I had to tell myself, so okay, God is in this moong dal picking up. So let me pick up the moong dal. I started to sing the God's name and I started picking up the moong dal. And then, yes, I did expect my husband to come. He was in the house doing work from home. He did not come. But it's okay. If you are meant to do that work, you are only having to do that work. If you had given that work in the past, then he would have immediately come and said, oh, can I come and help you? If you deserved it, it would have already come. Since you did not deserve it, nobody is coming for your help. So don't waste time thinking about why they didn't come. So
Keep
that is
doing
why
it. Keep doing
then you
it.
will not become angry because you've accepted. If I had to get help, I would have got help. Now I'm not getting help because I deserve no help. And from that not getting help also I have to learn. So then anger will not come.
Accept. Keep accepting.
Just keep accepting. When anger does, when you know no use of being angry, then why don't you basically observe that anger? Because it has already happened. Because you're experiencing anger. First, you need to prepare yourself with all these laws. Okay, no waste. This is no need of expecting all that.
Each time I have to keep thinking.
Yes, you need to keep telling yourself this is why it is. This is what it is. Teaching yourself all the time. If you're teaching, if you openly teach yourself through a book or something, write something. Whatever you are thinking, you can write, or you can openly talk it out. When you keep talking, you are actually telling yourself only. You're teaching your own ears. Ultimately, it's only yourself. There is nobody else. So even when I'm teaching in this, I'm only talking to myself.
Okay, one more doubt I had. Like you told ki each person comes with their own soul plan, whether it's mother or a kid or child, whatever it is. So then when the child does some is adamant or mischievous, so we try to correct that child so that they don't do all that. But should we do that or no? Because each one has a soul plan, but it's our duty to do that.
Yes.
Then
as a mother,
in that situation,
as a mother, you can definitely share your belief systems with the child. Whatever is your duty as a mother, you have to do, but you should drop your expectations that he will follow it.
Okay, so without expecting, just keep doing.
Keep doing, because your mother's duty is to keep saying all the time.
But then the child is not showing any change.
Because you're expecting. Once you stop expecting, it will happen. See, it is that attitude that you already have. What you're giving, what are you giving? You're giving expectation. Don't give expectation. Just say, yeah, I'm doing my duty. When it happens, I'm going to experience it. You need to give so much that one day it is overflowed and it is coming back to you. See, for example, we are vegans. We are basically plant-based, and I've taught my children how to be plant-based and all that. But at some point, and she was also lying a lot. So at some point, as a child itself, so I had to basically help her get out of it. But how do I help her? I need to trust her. There were so many situations where my mind kept telling me, no, it is wrong. It's okay. You can't trust. She's still lying. Many times it also validated that she was lying. But still I had to give. I still trusted. So today it has come such that she does not lie to me. The karma is so smart that I see an experience where she's basically lying to my husband. There's a different level of learning where there should be detachment and lack of judge. I should not judge when these two people are talking, when these two people are arguing between themselves. So the system is so strong that when you learn in one side, something else will come up. Like exercise 1 over, exercise 2 is going to come up.
Like when the atmosphere is like that, everyone keeps something or the other, and that keeps adding on to the anger or any situation.
It's a level of consciousness. The more you keep working on yourself, rather put your sadhana, the more you keep putting your sadhana into yourself and applying the little knowledge, whatever you get, right? That effort itself will take you to the next level of consciousness.
To a great extent. What I was before, that has reduced to a great extent.
Absolutely, yeah.
What I was before and what I am now. But still, then the others have that mentality. No, she's like this only. So that way. So in that situation, what is to be done? So I have to just remove all my expectations. Keep doing what I have to follow.
Also, remove all your likes and dislikes.
Okay.
Likes and dislikes only is what leads to expectations. In one form of consciousness, they say have desires and go behind those desires. In a higher level of consciousness, fourth level of consciousness, there is always surrender. And there is a lot of beauty in surrender because the intelligence decides what you're going to get back. And that is far more beautiful than you manifesting something because you desired and then you attracted it and all that. From what the divine only gives, right? Without any expectation, you are just enjoying and believing that whatever happens is always going to be good for me. Then what comes as an outcome is far more blissful. And this happens at a higher level of consciousness. And this kind of knowledge also comes, but then we have to keep trying to apply that. In fact, one of the spiritual laws says, law of constant progress. It will keep progressing, whether you know it or no, you are progressing in the right direction. But there's one more law which says constant, you can hasten your progress by that awareness, by the knowledge. That is also a choice.
Thank you very much.
Any other questions? Anything in the chat? I'm not sure. Kamala?
Yeah.
Hi, Kamala. Good morning.
So, I mean, I feel that the work, thank you so much for the talk this morning. It was an ocean in a bucket. So it's like a lot to understand and apply. I want to understand what you would suggest for applying these laws. You know, how did you like you understand one thing? How do you personally work on understanding and applying these laws? Should we write? What should we do to sort of integrate this? That's my question.
What work do you do today? What is your nature of work?
I have been to marketing, sales, and all that.
How long have you been in that?
Let's say 10 years.
And you feel you're good at that?
Yes.
How did you become good at that? By practicing, right?
Yeah.
That's all we have to do.
But yeah, I feel
we have to only keep applying. Theory, first of all, theory has to slowly sink in. Then practicals has to sink in.
Okay.
Any subject for that matter, first theory, practicals. Only with practicals only it will become a habit. And that habit will eventually make it very strong as a belief system. And that can only come by that intention that I need to master this. Constant awareness that, let's say, you cannot say that today I'm going to apply the first law. It doesn't work like that. If you see, actually, to be very honest, only because of this class, I understood there are 12 laws. I did not know there are 12 laws. I knew everything. I knew all of these laws. I don't know how I know all these laws also. Maybe different parts of my life have accumulated these laws. But as such, I did not know that there are laws of karma only because the topic came to me. And I started to research about this in books and other things. That is, oh, these are laws of karmas, is it? Okay, they have come together. So far, when people have been asking me, Smitha, how do you know these things? Which book can I study? There was no single book that I was able to even tell. I would say, no, as a part of my experience for the last few years, this has come in bits and pieces from everywhere, and I've applied it, maybe Bhagavad Gita here and there. Today I was very happy. Today means after this Atma Deepo Bhava, I was very happy that, oh, it's all in one place. I don't have to actually worry so much. I just have to ask them to go through these laws. So that is what, for me also, it was the revelation. So in that sense, I think it's a very good one-stop where you keep doing it, keep reading it, keep understanding it. Keep reading books like Power of Now. And there are so many other books which will give you the same aspects. Bhagavad Gita is one of the ultimate books that I can say, if you're able to get that gist, and I'm sure you'll and apply these laws, it is beautiful.
Sure, sure, sure.
Thank you.
So I understand you start from where you are and you start moving step by step with the intention of working, on understanding this more and more.
In the present, you have so many things to learn. Your experiences in front of you are giving you those lessons. First, to learn that lesson, then only you'll go forward. Otherwise, the same lesson will continue in different intensities and severities until you learn.
True. Okay.
Bhupender Singh.
Namaskar, madam.
Namaskar.
I want to add into that before observing anything, you have to reduce yourself to a witness state.
Yes.
If you are not able to understand that little factor, you will reach nowhere.
Absolutely.
Because you aggregate from being an actor into the situation, you have to be an observer of the situation. Now, this is a little difficult patch, because once the anger rises, anger is coming from subconscious. It's a subconscious reaction, right? So when it is rising, then you have a tendency to get into that hurricane. It will propel you, it will throw you, and your entire system will get into movement, right? Now, at that minute, if you are able to remember and segregate yourself, reduce yourself to a witness state, that is, then only this all can be done.
Yes, sir.
You must be a professional. I can understand with your talk advising people. You can probably do it. But for the normal public, it has to be understood very clearly that witness state has to be achieved before attempting any of these things, because
Correct.
that is basics of your starting. And if we keep on trying it a lifetime without understanding that, we will reach nowhere.
Correct.
All right?
Correct. See, when you go to the internet, or when you look at many of these books about karma will only tell you if you do good, good will come back. If you do bad, will come back. So what I'm saying is, you will not really see a book which will say there is no good or bad. Very, very few a level of books which will say there is no good or bad. But when I read these laws, I put my own understanding of that state of oneness. But definitely we cannot get there unless you have understood duality a lot better before going to oneness. Duality is not a bad thing. Again, it is because you need to understand from that, and that is why. So like you said, you cannot get to that state of observing anger unless you are in a state to believe that I need to get to higher states of emotions first. Like, I should work on my anger. I don't have to be angry. I don't have to drop my expectations. Slowly, by practicing, let's say first time I'll be angry, and then I'll realize later. Then after that, okay, fine. I realized it sometime later. This time I'll remember it now itself. First of all, we are trying to avoid anger only. Then over time, we are getting into observing state. So you're perfectly right to say we cannot get to observe anger until we learn to avoid anger. Then we will get to say, oh, anger is also not bad. Let me observe anger. But you cannot get there unless you avoid anger, because we are still in a state of duality. Unless duality is mastered, you cannot get to oneness.
Thank you.
Any other questions? If not, we can close the call, I think. So I just wanted to share here that I'm conducting, based on the guidance and blessings from Master, we have been asked to conduct a 16-day plant-based program on 17th of this month in GMP Wisdom, which is going to be conducted in English, where I'm going to be hand-holding people on what is plant-based lifestyle, how to lead a plant-based lifestyle, how easy it is to lead a plant-based lifestyle, and also help you understand what are the diseases that the body goes through, how to handle that naturally through plant-based living, and how to get this integrated with emotions, emotionally, physically, mentally, and spiritually, how to integrate this whole system of lifestyle into our ways of thinking. I'll also be getting some participants who will share their journeys about how they have healed from their own diseases, just by applying these emotional, mental, and spiritual and physical ways of lifestyle. And we will also get kids who will do a discussion among themselves. It is going to be a beautiful roundtable discussion where they will cross-question each other. What did you do? What did I do? How was your journey? What did you heal from? How do you handle this in school? How do you go to birthday parties and handle this? So that kind of discussions also we are going to bring in. It's going to be a very unique workshop. It starts from 17th of this month and ends on May 1st. So I'm extremely grateful to Master for helping me bring this workshop together for this platform. We did this in the Bangalore workshop this time. It was a super hit. And Master was very happy. He sent his appreciations and all of that this time. So after that, we've got this opportunity to conduct this program. So don't miss it. It's going to be in English. In May, we are planning to do this in other languages as translations. So let's start with English in in April. Please do join the session. Jayashree and the admin team have already sent the links in all the GMP groups. So the WhatsApp group is already open. It's called Holistic Buddha GMP Wisdom. So please do join the session, and it's going to be a beautiful journey on there. So the link has also been shared by Mani. So please do join the group, and we'll actually travel together. In a way, I'm actually asking my own self to join my own program so that we can all travel together.
Ma'am, one question, ma'am.
Yes, Seema.
Can even kids join that?
Yes, even kids can join that. There is no gory aspects or something in that. Definitely kids can join. In fact, one of the day kids on 20th of April, kids session only is there.
Okay.
But they can join all the sessions, definitely.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, Mani, I think we can close the call.
Thank you, Master. Before we close the session, let us all be grateful for our Grandmaster Prabodh Garu for creating this wonderful platform, for giving us this amazing 21-day Aatma Deepo Bhava and all the work that he does. And thank you, leadership team, and all the volunteers. And special thanks to today's speaker, Master Smitha Hemadri, for wonderful wisdom, and all the attendees here today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Aatma Vandana. Thank you.